welcome to a very special show here on Overdrive. I am Sohini Dutt. Just a few weeks ago, our team embarked on a very ambitious drive. A drive in the Audi e-tron up to Ladakh. But that's not the only thing that was epic about this drive. We also teamed up with ABB, one of the largest electric charging infrastructure providers in the world, and Lion Charge to set up charging points across the Chandigarh to Ladakh highway. And this is that story.
Today we're setting off on what could be Overdrive's most ambitious project yet. We're driving up, as you can see, in front of a EV charging station, and what I'm getting charged here is the Audi e-tron, and we're heading up all the way to Leh. What we've done is not just driving this car up to Leh. What we're also doing at the same time is setting up a charging infrastructure from Chandigarh all the way up to Leh, which means in association with Audi and ABB, Overdrive is setting up 5 charging stations along the way from Chandigarh going all the way up to Leh. These 5 points are at Mandi, Manali, Jispa, Pang, and then finally one more in Leh. Before we set off though, it was imperative we got the right tires for this terrain. And as usual, Michelin stepped up to provide us with sets of Primacy SUV tires that work brilliantly across all types of terrain. And whoever starts off a long journey with a car that's not squeaky clean everywhere. Enter Sonax, whose impressive range of car detailing kits got the e-tron and the Q2s sparkling and fresh for the tough days ahead.
The charger provided by ABB is a 22 kilowatt Type 2 AC charger. It is one of the quickest AC charger setups anywhere in the country and is capable of charging, let's say, a 50 kilowatt hour battery in a little over 2 hours. However, the e-tron is restricted to accept only up to 11 kilowatts from an AC charger, much like other EVs, and this extends the charging time taken. However, the next generation of EVs will be able to accept the full 22 kilowatt from Type 2 AC chargers. So, charging should be a much quicker affair.
We started off from Audi Chandigarh, and unfortunately, well, there have been power issues in Chandigarh, because of which we couldn't get a full charge on the e-tron. I've got a range of about 287 kilometers.
The effort was to get to Mandi, roughly around 210 kilometers away from Chandigarh. We had set up another charging point at the Patial filling station, an IOCL petrol pump. It's not as simple a journey as we thought it would be. The climb up to Patial saw us lose a significant amount of charge, and even the traffic and constant halts could barely juice up the e-tron. Things were looking tough. We made it to Patial with very little charge to spare. And to add to our problems, there was no power due to some construction work on the highway, which meant we had to wait until power was restored to the region. Nonetheless, we got around 50% of charge and were on our way to Manali well after sundown.
We're now ready to start off on our next leg, which takes us from this wonderful Himalayan resort in Manali. That's where we've set up the second charging station on the Chandigarh to Leh highway. But we are now heading to Jispa, to Padma Lodge. We are crossing over from Manali through the Atal Tunnel into the Lahaul and Spiti Valley. Now this is the first time that an electric vehicle, an SUV, is going to go through the Atal Tunnel. That itself is a momentous occasion, but then we're going to enter proper Himalayan territory. The e-tron makes the most sense for a journey of this sort. A distance of about 700 kilometers between Chandigarh to Leh. The e-tron is best suited for it because, well, it's got the largest battery, first of all. 95 kilowatt hour battery. It is the largest, which means it holds the most capacity. Second, you've got 2 electric motors, one driving the front axle, the other driving the rear axle. But all of that, the battery management system also, depending on the mode you're driving in, whether it's the range mode, the efficiency mode, or whether you want to be in the dynamic mode, will divert power to either of those motors. So you can be front wheel driven, or rear wheel driven, or all wheel driven as well. Third, it's got adjustable dampers, which means you can raise the height of the car or lower the height of the car. And in Ladakh, there definitely are certain sections where we need the additional ground clearance to get across some of the obstacles. Bad roads essentially. Roads which sometimes have, well, rocks strewn all over them. And third is the range. Audi claims WLTP cycles. Well, this 408 PS motor, the combined motors output, with over 600 Newton meters of torque, will still give you a range of about anywhere between 350 to 480 kilometers, which makes it ideal for a drive of this sort. For those in the future who want to take this journey, undertake this journey to Leh, well, depending on the conditions, depending on the situation, how many more chargers can be added along that route, I think this would be a fairly simple task to do. So we've come up to Jispa, which is a distance of about just a little short of 100 kilometers, and the e-tron's given fairly decent range today. We just lost about 110 kilometers of charge, that's about it. But we're here in front of the charging unit, we're charging it, but there are immense voltage fluctuations. In fact, when we landed in here, there was no power, and this is one challenge that some of these regions in India will face as EV proliferation grows stronger across the country. Some far-flung regions will have power outages, will have voltage fluctuations, and while we're trying to and hoping that things get better, fingers crossed that by morning, at least 8 hours away, we get enough of charge in our battery. Let's see how it goes. Tomorrow, however, the big challenge starts.
Coming up, our journey gets tough and range anxiety kicks in as we climb higher altitudes. Stay with us on this electric journey.
Jispa was facing several power outages, voltage fluctuations, which meant that we couldn't charge at optimum supply. Nevertheless, we managed to get some amount of charge into our system. Our range is limited and we've got a fairly long distance to go today, almost 160 kilometers. We're losing charge at an enormous rate and I'm pretty concerned. Range anxiety in the mountains, it's a very real thing. It's frightful and I am a bit nervous about how far we're going to make it because I can rapidly see us losing charge, but this is extremely tricky. Now we're going to have to cut off our journey and spend the night at Sarchu. Can we make it up to Pang? I don't know.
Another tricky bit is we've come up to an off-road patch, and essentially what happens here is that if you leave the e-tron in auto driving mode or even in efficiency mode, the e-tron uses its four-wheel drive powertrain, which means power is delivered to both axles and that consumes energy. The only way to offset this is to keep it in range mode.
We're also driving on range mode. Now, range mode essentially switches off most of the electronics in this car in terms of your navigation, your audio, any other assist systems. And to increase efficiency or rather to get the maximum range, it also means not having to use the heating system. So it is cold, my windows are fogging up and there essentially is no way to clean them up. So it's crucial to manage your driving style. It's very important to realize that you cannot drive like you are in urban conditions. You have to consistently go gentle on the throttle in these altitudes and effectively use a little more braking because that enables you to recuperate some energy back into the battery. The other challenge over here is that we're consistently climbing. The roads are fantastic, we're climbing, and it gives us very few opportunities to recuperate charge. Here's another interesting challenge that we're facing. The e-tron. It's a fantastically handling car. Brilliant dynamics, absolutely stable. Such fantastic stability. So in a conventional car with not so great dynamics, you constantly brake in the corners, slow down, take the corner gently. The e-tron is able to just carry itself through that corner. And that means we're not able to generate enough charge as we're going along. So you have to try and increase your speed to a point where you'd have to brake when you enter a corner. But here's the irony of it. For you to get up to speed, you discharge some, and then when you brake, you hope that you recover, get back a little bit of that energy you've lost while picking up your speed. This journey is all about claiming small victories every single step of the way. It's like a game of chess. You have to sacrifice some just so that you can get yourself into a good position to gain a little. It's just one step at a time.
Not an easy journey. The 160 odd kilometers were tough on us and the e-tron. Fortunately, with some careful driving, we were able to make it to Pang early in the evening.
This is Pang. We're roughly 15,000 plus feet above sea level, but we're here because we're installing India's highest electric charging point. Now that's a Type 2 AC charging station right there, getting set up. This has been set up thanks to ABB and Lion Charge. We've got an extensive network around the country, and now this becomes the highest charging station. The e-tron, well, it's been absolutely fantastic. I think it's almost done. We're finished with that. The e-tron's been fantastic, but it's time to give it a charge before we head up to Leh. With that, we're ready to get it charged.
With voltage issues, we couldn't gather enough charge in the e-tron and had to make do with just 50% battery charge before we set off for Leh, driving over the highest pass on this journey, the Tanglangla. However, the e-tron had no issues whatsoever reaching Leh. Even though charge dropped down to nearly 20%, we comfortably reached our charging station at the Fortune Hotel in Spituk, Pharka. Next morning, we were on schedule to inaugurate Leh's fastest electric vehicle charger yet.
मैं स्वागत करना चाहूँगा ओडी के जो पहला लद्दाख में आए ऐसे इलेक्ट्रिक सपोर्टेड जो कार व्हीकल जो लद्दाख में पहुँचे हैं। और खुशी की बात इसमें भी है, चंडीगढ़ से जो मनाली से होते हुए पंग से और लेह तक अलग अलग जगहों पे जो इलेक्ट्रिक चार्जिंग पॉइंट्स भी लगा है। और आज फॉर्मली यहाँ के लद्दाख ऑटोनोमस हिल डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल लेह के ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन साहब की उपस्थिति में और हम दोनों की उपस्थिति में इसका लद्दाख में इनॉग्रेशन भी हुआ, लॉन्चिंग भी हुआ, शुरू भी हुआ। इसका अहमियत लद्दाख केवल लद्दाख में नहीं बल्कि पूरे हिमालयन रीजन में और साथ ही साथ पूरे यूनिवर्स में, दुनिया में इसका अहमियत रखते हैं। मैं धन्यवाद भी करना चाहूँगा भारत के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, जिन्होंने लद्दाख के प्रति एक कार्बन न्यूट्रल लद्दाख के जो नारा दिया, विजन दिया। और कार्बन न्यूट्रल लद्दाख बनाने के लिए इसके लिए मैं ओडी और यहाँ के जो आज फंक्शन ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया ओवर ड्राइव और जितने भी इसके पार्टनर्स हैं सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा।
So we got into Leh pretty late last night, but we made it here comfortably. It was a bit of a difficult journey because when we set off from Pang, it was pretty late at night, we kind of lost a lot of range climbing up Tanglangla Pass because Tanglangla Pass is pretty high, 17,000 feet above sea level. But we've now made it to Leh. This is the Fortune Resort in Ladakh in Leh, and this is where we set up the 22 kilowatt hour charging station. You just saw me unplug it from the e-tron, but it's been a comfortable journey so far. Tough nonetheless, a lot of range anxiety, but it's great to be here amidst all this Himalayan scenery.
But Leh wasn't the only frontier. We even made it all the way up to Khardungla, once famously known as the world's highest motorable road.
So we just left K-Top, and as you can see, I've got about 94 kilometers of charge left, or rather range left, and I'm going to recuperate some energy back into the system. To do that, I go into regen mode 1. So while the e-tron is still rolling, it's also charging the battery. When I come down to the corners, I can go into regen mode 2. There's further charging happening. Use the right paddle shift to release the regen mode from level 2. Come back to level 1, let it continue rolling, let it charge, which it does at a lesser rate, but nonetheless, the charging is still happening. And keep in mind, every time you use the brakes as well, you continue to charge the system. We've reached our hotel in Leh, and my range is now showing 187 kilometers, and I've probably recuperated about 5% to 8% of energy back into my battery, which is not too bad at all, but this is essentially what you can do. So you can lose range, but given circumstances and given the conditions, driving conditions, you could also recover your energy. We drove in last night all the way from Leh to Manali in a single charge. Of course, we cheated, in complete honesty. We weren't driving all the time. A lot of time was spent coasting downhill. And we set off from Leh with almost a 95% charge. And we reached Manali with 32% charge left on the battery. But here's the deal. The advantage that you're getting when you're driving from Leh towards Manali or towards Chandigarh is that you're coming downhill entirely. While Leh going up to Tanglangla, you're ascending from about 10,000 feet to 17,500 feet. Thereafter, you're constantly coming down from 17,500 feet to almost 6,000 feet here in Manali. That's a huge advantage for an electric car. What's important to keep a check on is not the range that you're getting. Because in the mountains, the range keeps fluctuating. As you're climbing uphill, your range will drop. But you shouldn't be scared of that. That shouldn't set you back. Because once you start descending down that pass, your range increases considerably again. At the same time, if you use the regenerative system smartly enough and you know your car well, you can recoup a fair amount of energy back into your system. That will also increase your range. And that's essentially what we were doing. We were coasting downhill and increasing our range, increasing the efficiency of the charge that we had left. And that is what enabled us to get from Leh all the way up to Manali in just one charge. Over 420 kilometers in just one charge. Unbelievable what this car is capable of.
As I mentioned earlier, this drive up to Leh in the e-tron is our most ambitious yet. But when you dream big or not at all. We came across many challenges on this journey. Not knowing our vehicle well enough, power issues in various regions, not knowing what the elevation of the land would do to the battery, charge optimization. We didn't even know if the batteries would hold their charge in these conditions, or would they drain like our camera batteries did. Well, they did. So that was satisfying. What was also hugely satisfying is that our entire adventure into Leh and back to civilization in the e-tron cost us just around 5,500 rupees for the electricity. For the IC engined vehicles, it was over 3 times that cost. But our biggest takeaway from this journey was that taking an EV into far-flung regions of the country is not a seamless, stress-free drive yet. Perhaps by next year, it may be. Just maybe. My fingers are crossed that there will be more chargers set up along this route. In a moment of rational madness, we achieved the impossible. But we had the e-tron. It has the largest battery pack, the highest range and technology that makes the journey possible. Other cars though will follow.
enjoyed the story and learnt a bit more about driving an electric vehicle up in the Himalayas, recuperating energy in that manner as well, you can write to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter as well as Instagram to let us know what you thought of the story, and if you have any other questions, we'll be sure to get Bert to answer all of them. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching. Drive and ride safe.